see the law of this jungle, it's as old and as real as the sky. And the wolf that abides will prosper, but a wolf that breaks it will die. You see out here in this jungle, we run it forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. I used to run with the pack, nowadays I run for the pack. Represent from the front to the back, wolves in my heart, my city on the map. I was in the field, you're sitting on the bench. See me in the gym, rep till I'm bench. Sweat till I win, that's a victory stench. Yeah, we stay ready for the war, man, I settle in the score. Settle it. Right now I'm with the hype, I ain't in it for the light. I was down on the ground, now I'm up for the fight. I'm on it. See sight at the dark, now it's into the light. Out for more, down for my team. I wake up and I'm chasing a dream. Done dirt, but my crep stay clean. Send for me, rude boy, how you mean? Look at my camp with the verses. Clean sheeting him and I'm on the verse with. Prize fighter, I'm taking the purses. Deathmatch to the family in hearses. The law of this jungle, we run it forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. See out here in this jungle, we run it forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack.
Very good evening. Welcome to the Vitality Stadium. This is the home of football tonight as Wolverhampton Wanderers go in search of their first 3 points of the Premier League season. Here's the boys arriving a little bit earlier on. Wolves team news will come up very shortly. We'll discuss that and more, including, of course, a new signing today. That's exciting, isn't it? I'm Mikey Burrows. Alongside me here down on the South Coast is the Hall of Famer Andy Thompson, and watching from home is the former Wolves women defender and winger and all sorts of positions, really. Claire Hakeman. I always get bogged down in that. We don't need positions. I did this at the weekend. Just move on, Mikey. So you can get in touch with us as ever. Use the hashtag WolvesLive to have your say across social media. I say we will be talking about the new arrival and what else could be done before the transfer window closes. Time is ticking down on that, but potentially who knows what could happen in the next 24 hours or so. And of course, we'll focus on the game here tonight because it feels, Tomo, like this is a big game for more reasons than one. And obviously, one of those is what happened to Bournemouth at the weekend and subsequently the news that came out of the home club yesterday. But that adds a little bit extra on Wolves, doesn't it, to make sure they get a result here tonight?
Yeah, it is. So, look, don't matter what's gone on with Bournemouth, at the end of the day, Wolves need the result. Wolves need to get something out of this game. And so, look, and I think at the weekend as well, they've got the 4 big games coming up: Liverpool, Man City, West Ham. Okay, and so, look, so there's going to be massive consequences on the results tonight. I think I said to you earlier, I think that they need to get at least 4 points out of the 2 games, at least something. They can't afford to lose tonight, I think, for me. So, like, you're playing kind of catch up, and so, look, and teams are starting to put together some runs, and you don't want to be left too far behind. I know it's still early, and people say, but you need to get that first victory for confidence.
It sounds stupid, Claire, and don't worry, I'm the one who's saying it, so it will sound stupid. But playing against a team who lost 9-0 at the weekend actually is not that an attractive prospect sometimes because they have an awful lot to prove.
Yeah, I think that, obviously losing 9-0 and the fact that they've lost the manager, it's like a double whammy, really. And you don't really know what to expect. You know that they're going to bounce back. They're not going to do the same again. They'll probably want to do it for Scott Parker as well. Some of the players to, show that it, maybe it was just a really off day. And Liverpool are an outstanding side, aren't they? So I think it's just going to be really tough for us. I think it'll be tough for us tonight. I think it's all about the win. I think we desperately need a win, and we need to get those points on the board, because I think as soon as you get those points up, I think the confidence will grow. I think Southampton on Saturday won't be an easy prospect off the back of them beating Chelsea last night. It's another challenge, isn't it? And then we go into a hell of a run against probably last year's top 6. So every game's tough in the Premier League, but I think tonight's a really important game, and I think we need to see it through and get the job done.
What didn't work for you, Claire, at the weekend? We've seen Wolves actually play pretty well in periods for most of the games and probably be a bit unlucky. I think we were all kind of honest enough to say that Newcastle, I think, would have been pretty unlucky not to have got anything from that game on Sunday. So what do you want to see different tonight that you didn't see on Sunday from Wolves?
I think we've just got to be a little bit more aggressive in the final third. I think we've got to be a lot more clinical in there. We know that, when the chances come along, you've got to finish them, but also just getting in behind and getting balls into the box. Obviously, we've got something else to talk about in terms of maybe a different style of play that might come in the next few weeks in terms of the new striker. But I think it's just key that we the stats didn't look great, really. If you looked at it, actually, we had half the stats of everything that Newcastle did there. Double the possession virtually by the end of the game, double the amount of shots, over double the amount of corners that we had. So on paper, it didn't look great, but also Newcastle were a side that were coming to us full of confidence, and they've got a new squad and under new management and also flying. So it's a tale also of two sides that are probably different in terms of their confidence at the moment. So I think there were spells of good football in there and little glimpses that we know that we can really push on. And obviously Neves was outstanding all night, but I think we've got to just pull it all together and just go and get that result tonight. Even you don't want to say the performance doesn't matter, because it does, but the points are the most important thing tonight.
It's an interesting debate there, isn't it, Tomo, on the elements of performance versus result, because Claire's right, isn't she? You need a win. You've said it, you just need 3 points. But I think there'll be a lot of supporters watching tonight who will go, I want to see them play well as well. I want to see them improve, and I want to see them dominate the game and look like they're going to score plenty of goals.
Yeah, in an ideal world, that's what you want, isn't it? Performance and results. But unfortunately, with the results that we've had and the way that things are looking in the league, so look, you'll just want the result tonight. So look, I'd rather us not play too well but win 1-0. So like for me, and then we can start to have a look at the performances later on. But for me, I think the priority's got to be results. I say, look, there's no good putting in a great performance and losing the game 1-0. We've got to go out there. We've got to make sure we take the game to them. Be brave in that top third. We need to make sure we keep possession, because I think that was the one thing in the second half at the weekend, was that second half. We couldn't retain the possession of the ball, especially in that top third. Everything was coming back. We invited Newcastle to come on to us there, how deep we were towards the end of the game. And look, rightfully so, you start to hang on a little bit as well. But for me, we've got to start to retain possession of the ball a lot better. And coming to a team like Bournemouth, being at home, I think that we've got to do that as well. But for me, result is everything tonight. Results takes priority over the performance.
More from Tomo and Claire to come. We'll discuss the team news in just a second. We'll discuss the transfer window as well. We'll hear from Bruno in just a moment after we've looked back at the best of the Newcastle game on Sunday. Headed infield by Trippier. Picked up by Neves. Oh, stunning ball by Neves to Gonzalo Guedes. Lovely take. Early ball in, looking towards Neto. Touch on goal! Oh, just onto the roof of the net. In from the Newcastle right into the penalty area. Kilman climbed highest, didn't get great distance. Willett puts it back in the danger zone. Collins headed down towards Longstaff. There's a little tug on the shirt on Longstaff, and Wood tries to shoot. Drops to Willock, who misses from 8 yards out. Oh, almost loses out and has lost out to Jimenez. Good strength by Jimenez. Good cross. Oh, Nunez's header. Up against Sam Maximin, cutting infield on his left foot. Cross coming all the way through. It's a clever ball actually to pick out Gonzalo Guedes. Guedes left hand side of the box, pulling it back. Neves with one touch, trying to shoot. Oh, stunning! Oh, brilliant! Ruben Neves finds the bottom corner. Wolves get themselves in front. Almiron on the turn, up to the edge of the box. Still Almiron, great sliding challenge from Matinho. Neves for Nunez to carry it over halfway. Evades the desperate challenge of Longstaff. Suddenly it's 3-on-3. It's Nunez to strike it, and it's straight down the throat of Nick Pope, and an easy save. Neto giving chase, and referee was happy enough with it. And suddenly it's a 3-on-1 counter-attack. Jimenez and Guedes are forwards. It's Neto still running. It's a cross towards Jimenez! Raul Jimenez turns it home!
I think it's going to be checked. No goal.
Free kick, no goal. But back there was Hee-Chan Wang. His clearance goes underneath the edge of his box, and what a strike by Sam Maximin! That's unbelievable on the volley into the bottom corner, and Newcastle are level.
Bruno, tough one to take, but this is the Premier League. You play to the last kick.
Yeah, that's the point until the last minute. So I think we did a good game. We control what we need to control. the way we press, the way we defending the aerial duels. I think it was very good, just not in open play, but also in the set pieces. So very proud of what we did. We scored a goal. We come with that ambition to controlling the game. Second half, they try to do to put us more near our goal with the long balls, with the set pieces, and I think we control everything. And then comes the moment of the goal. So I think it was a little bit unlucky for us. The ball is in the corner, and they put the ball in front of the goal just to shoot and to score a goal. So, like you said, this is the Premier League. Every chance, every opportunity in front of the box can be a clear situation of goal, and after is so. It's a little bit of frustration, first, of course, when you look for the result. Second half, I think that the moment, and we should have the control of the game with the ball, especially when we try to see them, try to push and put us near our goal. Maybe have more quality in the game, to have more ball, to play more ball, and then put them to run against the time. So, but in the end, it's a hard draw. But now we cannot have time to recover, to look for what happened. Now is to recover, look forward, because you have an important game in 3 days.
You spoke about patience. Was what you saw again today signs that your side are growing and moving in the right direction?
I think so. So look, the things are there. We cannot deny. Nelson was brave. Raul was brave. Guedes was brave. But these guys just arrived and just are training in 2 weeks. We tried to manage the game the best way, but sometimes, even today, I was looking to Raul, and it was so important in the set pieces that if you want to take him after, you can have a less tall man in the box to defending that situations. So, but look, it's not time to talk about this. The time is to every time look forward to see the good things that we did, and we go again in 3 days.
I spoke to your captain. He wasn't happy with the challenge from Fabian Schär on Pedro Neto. Do you echo his sentiments? It should have been a red card.
I think 90% of the people now will watching this. I think will say this is a red card. So same situation happened 1 year ago here, and now happened again. So I think it was so clear that. But look, what I can say about this, it was 2 VAR decisions, and the 2 was against us. So it's unfortunately for us and frustrating for us.
I guess that's what people will say is consistency. So you feel as though it wasn't consistent in handing a red card, but then also, did you feel it was a foul from Neto on Fraser, which led to the Jimenez goal?
It's depending the way you see the image and if it's a big impact or not. I was listening since the first minute because Newcastle was hard to play. Every challenge I heard, this is a Premier League, this is a physical game. And after in that situation, the referee continued to go, and after goes and check, and it turns his decision. So we need to live with these decisions. This is a draw. Now we need to continue to work.
Great to have Raul back in the starting lineup. Didn't get the goal. We perhaps argue with the reserve, but further minutes for him, and he's going to grow.
It's very important. He's a very important player for us, and we know that he have a chance, and he score his own goal. So it's very important the way we want to play. It's very important for us.
And finally, you have spoken about needing more goals in your team. Do you expect more transfer business between now and the close of the deadline?
Let's see what happens until the end. We have one striker, and we are looking for another one.
Thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
Bruno Lage speaking there after the game against Newcastle. We'll talk about transfers in just a second. This is the starting lineup that he has selected. It is unchanged from the side that started at Molineux on Sunday. There is one change to the bench. Conor Ronan comes in for Gerson Mosquera. So it's Jose Sarr in goal, Nelson Semedo, Nathan Collins, Maximilian Kilman and Johnny the back 4. Ruben Neves, João Moutinho and Mateus Nunes in midfield. Gonzalo Guedes, Raul Jimenez and Pedro Neto up top, with plenty to come from the bench if needed. But that is a question that I guess a lot of people have been asking the last couple of days, Tomo, in terms of the use of substitutes. Adama Traore didn't come on. Leander Dendoncker did come on, but very late in the game on Sunday. That's, I think, a frustration that a lot of the fans have had in the last couple of days, because there is actually options on the bench now. It's whether Bruno is going to turn to them, and clearly he's decided that this 11 is the 11 that he favours, and it's up to those on the bench to earn their chance.
Yeah, I'm very surprised Moutinho's playing another game again. So on the back of the game on Sunday. So look, at the end of the day, so his age is probably catching up with him, but his performances aren't. But I know he's probably thinking he's probably one of the most important players on the team sheet. But I'm surprised that Dendoncker hasn't played tonight. I thought he might start for Moutinho. And also as well, I just thought his subs were late on Sunday. I thought it was at 70-odd minutes before he even made the change. And I thought that Traore was going to be a cert to come on, because I think the game was just calling out for him. Somebody who could just drive us up the pitch, and also as well get possession and get Newcastle to back off a little bit, because he offers that threat, not just on the ball, but just his presence on there.
Claire, do you think if they'd held on and won on Sunday, he might have made changes tonight? And because he didn't, that explains why he's gone with what he thinks is his strongest team once more.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's definitely what he would see as his strongest 11, and I think he backs them to go and get the result. And I do think with Moutinho in the side, you've got that leadership element, and we know that we have lost a couple of leaders in the close season. So, and obviously since Cody's gone as well. So I think he's definitely someone that's integral to the process, and I think he wants to stick with where we're at. And also, I suppose it's early days in that Núñez, Neves, Moutinho combination. He wants to probably shore that up, but the key bit's getting the result, and I think he sees this as the opportunity. And like Tomo said, I think Dendoncker must have been there or thereabouts to be starting in terms of the energy he can bring and giving Moutinho a little bit of a rest. But it might be the case that it's a little bit the other way around, whereas we try and get that result sorted and Moutinho comes off hopefully on an hour and the game's done. But we know that we don't often operate in that way and make life easy for Wolves fans. So that's not kind of what we do. But I think it's an interesting team. It's good to see us that we've got a bit of a bench to go at as well with Podence, Traore. I do feel the same as Tomo in that I think Traore, I was surprised he didn't come on, and I think it would have been a real test for Newcastle to put them, turn them back the other way, because we were under the cosh for probably the last 20. I think we were lucky not to concede a second as well. So, but we secured the point, so you kind of take it as a positive in the end. But it always feels like a loss when you're 1-0 up and you don't see it through, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was just going to say, the reason why I was probably saying Dendoncker a little bit as well, just a bit more of a presence in there, but also as well presence in the box, the opposing penalty area. I just thought that he might play instead of Moutinho because of the amount of games that he's played, but also just giving us that extra body or that height in the penalty area as well on set plays, and also timing his runs, what we know he can do as well.
Claire mentioned a little bit about the midfield three and how they're operating. One part of it was sensational on Sunday. Ruben Neves scored his first goal of the season. It's remarkable in the terms of the goals that he's scored that actually probably doesn't really rank up there, maybe even not in the top 10 of goals he scored. And yeah, it was a very good one. But the way he's playing at the moment, Claire, is this a key part of what Wolves are trying to do? Now he's captain. We said this a little bit last season, didn't we? He's of the age now where we need to build this team around him, because if he stays and everything's crossed that he does stay, this is the kind of thing we can get from him week in, week out.
Yeah, he's exceptional, isn't he? There's nothing he can't do, and the more you see him play, the more you feel like it's a privilege to see him in a Wolves shirt. He breaks up the play brilliantly. The amount of blocks he put in when he came from nowhere to block the ball on the edge of the box, putting the shift in defensively, but the range of passing, we know that he's got that in his locker. But just that natural aggression, I do think since he's taken on the captaincy, not that obviously he didn't have it before, I just think he's got a real drive, determination and passion. And, we all know he's got the World Cup round the corner. I think he's showing Portugal for sure that he should be one of the starting midfield options for them.
I mean, that's a good point, Tomo, isn't it? He is now of an age, I keep saying this, where he needs to be the main man for club and country. And if he keeps playing like this, he surely will be.
Well, I think he is for his club, the way that he's playing. And I said about a couple of years ago that the way that he performed, we said about in getting around the pitch, because people said, well, can he get around the pitch as good as he can to be that great player, and I think that he's done that. I think he's added that to his locker. I think he's got himself really fit, and he's a box-to-box player as well. But we can see all the attributes that he's got with his passing, the range of passing that he had the other day, and also as well with his goal as well. So he'll have the ball in tight areas. He's happy to have the ball anywhere on the pitch, and that just shows you the quality that he's got. But it's outside of the possession that I think that he's improved on. I think that he's improved a lot over the last couple of years, where he knows that this was probably a point where he had to strengthen, and he's definitely done that, because there was no doubting about his ability with the ball, but probably question marks were over his movement around the pitch and that. But he's put all that to bed now.
We will talk about a new signing that's arrived at Molineux today in just a second, but let's take a look back at the last time these two teams met. Now it's a long way over to his far post this time. Martinho, a couple of short steps, goes for the curler to the far post, and the goalkeeper got a touch to it and it bounces behind, but it's been given as a goal kick.
Yeah, I think he's come, and then I think he's come off a Wolves head, hasn't he? Just watching the replay.
And now Jota trying to capitalise over the halfway line at pace. Johnny running through the middle. Jota still going. Now finding Traoré, edge of the D. Traoré fainted to shoot. Now goes for goal and couldn't keep it down. And it goes flying over the top of the crossbar and behind for a goal kick.
Oh, great interception from Johnny though, wasn't it? Good run from Jota. And Traoré just couldn't keep it down, could he?
Doherty wide for Traoré. Looking to run at Smith, going past him on the outside. That's a decent cross. Here it is! Oh, what a header! Brilliant goal! And it is that classic combination again. Traoré's cross, and Raúl Jiménez just would not be stopped. Powered through, fires his header home. Wolves finally have the breakthrough. Wolves 1, Bournemouth 0. It's the Mexican sensation again.
Oh, it's all about the ball in though, isn't it? And the conviction as a look of Jimenez there. He made that his own.
Saiz did superbly well, as it looked for a minute as if he'd gambled too much, and Neto is going to run through the middle here. Pedro Neto to seal it. Brilliant effort. Oh, just wide of the left-hand post. Pedro Neto found his way through the middle. He just couldn't quite seal it.
Oh, he's run from his own half. He's gone past about 5-6 players. He just opened up for him. Oh.
We're down on the south coast this evening to face newly promoted Bournemouth. This is only the 16th time that we face the Cherries, but we are unbeaten against them in the Premier League, winning 3 of our 4 meetings in the top flight, all of which have come since our promotion in 2018. Tonight, Bruno Lage will be coming up against caretaker manager Gary O'Neill after the Cherries parted ways with their manager Scott Parker yesterday morning. They haven't had the start to the season they would have hoped, suffering heavy defeats to Man City, Arsenal and conceding 9 at the hands of Liverpool last time out. But Wolves have got a challenge ahead of them this evening, as Bournemouth are going to be looking to turn their fate around here back at home under the lights at the Vitality Stadium. We've had some news of our own in the past 24 hours. Striker Sasha Kalajdzic has become the latest man to join the Wolf Pack. He's not going to be taking part this evening, but hopefully we'll get to see him for the first time in a gold and black shirt on Saturday back at Molineux. But for now, our focus is on this important match here this evening. Our first win of the season in the Premier League felt within touching distance last time out, but a 90th minute equaliser for Newcastle means that our search for that first 3 points of the season continues here tonight.
With the context of tonight's game, and she mentioned it there has been a new signing for Wolverhampton Wanderers today, signed too late to be involved this evening. We will keep an eye out to see whether he has travelled down to watch his new team, but there is a new striker in the building. We'll talk about him in just a second, but before we do, let's hear from him. This is Sasha Kalajdzic.
Sasha, welcome to Wolves. How pleased are you to be joining the club?
I'm happy that it all has been finished today. It was a long day, tough day, but at the end everything went well, and I'm really thankful and really happy to be here.
You've been linked with a lot of clubs this summer. What was it that made Wolves the team for you?
I think that was the club who wanted me the most at the end, and I think in my career or in my age, it's important to know, or important to feel where the next step is. And I at the end, I got the feeling that I think Wolverhampton is the best step for my development. I know that I won't regret my decision because the people, I met them and they were all so kind and welcomed me very, very warming. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to play as soon as possible.
That's brilliant to hear. And you joined having scored 22 goals in the Bundesliga with Stuttgart. How much do you feel like you've developed in recent years there?
It's strange to say because I had obviously I had some injuries in the last couple of years, which stopped me of scoring more goals. But I think I developed as a player and as a person. I grew very much. I can't even express how thankful I am to this club and to this city and to the people, to the fans, that I have gotten the trust and got the chance to show myself in the Bundesliga, and now it's the same. I try to give everything for this club. Very emotional at the end, and I hope I can prove that here as well. I can show the club and the people who put their trust in me that I can pay it back by scoring goals or just helping with my qualities.
Watching back your goals for Stuttgart, you scored with the left foot, the right foot, with the head. How would you describe yourself as an attacking player?
It's difficult for me to describe myself. I'd rather let other people describe myself, but obviously I'm 2 meters tall. I don't know how you say in English in inches. I have to learn that. But yeah, I'm a tall player who is also not that bad with his feet, and I'm just hungry to score goals. I want to play good football. I want to score many goals. I want to play attractive football, and I just wanna I'm a team player. I want to help the team. That's the most important thing at the end, because I know when the team is looking good, I'm looking good as well. So this is my aim for the upcoming matches, for the future.
And you've already scored at Wembley with the national team, so you've experienced playing in England. How much are you excited to get going in the Premier League now?
Yeah, very. I don't think we're playing in Wembley, except we will reach the cup finals, or let's see. Being optimistic is good, but let's see. Yeah, I played in Middlesbrough against England in a friendly game, and I played in Wembley against Italy and scored there. It was an amazing atmosphere and an amazing experience, and I hope I will get to know as many stadiums as I can, and obviously to score there as well.
Yeah, in that game against England, you would have come up against Premier League defenders. How much of a challenge do you think you can pose to them in games?
It was tough. It will be different. Everyone tells you the Premier League is the toughest league. It's the NBA of football. So I'm just excited to prove myself against the best, because in this league the best players are playing. I just want to develop as a player, as a guy, as a person, and I just wanna get as soon as possible to track, to score, to just show myself, and I'm really happy about it, and I'm really looking forward to it.
So you join Raúl Jiménez in the attacking department. How well do you think the two of you can work together?
I hope really well, because what I've seen, Raúl is a different kind of striker than me, and I think he has qualities that I don't have. Maybe I have qualities that he doesn't have, and we can complement each other and make an amazing duo, even with the other players. I'm just looking forward to play with them.
Brilliant. And you had a lot of meetings today. One was with Bruno Lage, the head coach. How did that conversation go?
Honestly, we didn't have that much time to talk because they were preparing for the game against Bournemouth, and I had many appointments, medical check, doing this and that. But at the end, we had a nice talk. He had a very warm welcome to me and my family, and yeah, he hopes that I will bring luck to the team, and I hope so too.
And just finally, we're here at Molineux doing the interview. Wolves are at home on Saturday. How excited are you to get out there and play in front of the fans?
I'm very excited. There's a little bit of nervousity, but in a positive way, and I can't wait to play in front of the fans, to see how it is. It is the best league in the world, and the Bundesliga has also amazing fans, but I think it's different from the atmosphere, and I just wanna see and experience this. I was already in England in a few stadiums as a fan, also like watching games, and it was really, really cool. And I wanna experience this as a player. It was always a dream to play in the Premier League, and now you can measure yourself with the best. So really looking forward to it.
Very impressive young man, Sasa Kalajic, who has signed for Wolves today from Stuttgart. He's agreed a long-term contract as well. It's a big boost. It's a huge boost. As you can see, Andy Thompson and Claire Hageman are alongside me. Let's bring in a man who regularly speaks to supporters and covers everything Wolves for the Express and Star, Nathan Tudor, who is a bit further down in the press box from us here at the Vitality Stadium. Nathan, it's a big one, isn't it? It's a big statement of intent, and not just because he's 6'7", and it's an obvious one to say it's a big statement of intent, but also for the fact that it's a striker added to the midfielder and defender, proper first-team reinforcements that have come in this summer. That's big for the football club this year, right?
Fans are delighted, Mikey. They really are. Look, I know results haven't been the best, but I think from, let's say, a week before they went to pre-season and they hadn't signed anyone, they were ready to revolt. They really were. But you bring in Nathan Collins, you bring in Matheus Nunes, you bring in Guedes, you bring in the likes of these quality players. There comes an expectation there, and I think Sasha completes that list. I think they're ready to contend, but they are restless. They are restless because, end of the day, when you keep the likes of Neves and Neto, you add these quality players, and you don't get these results, and you look at the table and the second bottom, there comes a point where they've got to start scoring and they've got to start winning games. And so I think they are delighted. They are delighted to get these players in, but at the same time, they need to start winning, and they need to start winning tonight.
Nathan, as I say, you speak to the supporters, and we get messages from fans, obviously, after the games as well. And it felt like fans were kind of very positive after the defeat at Spurs, and then things changed dramatically on Sunday. Did you find that in the fans that you spoke to? And what do you think you would put that down to?
Yeah, I do. And look, I think when you go to Spurs, more often than not, you're underdogs. And I think the football that Wolves played, especially in those first 45 minutes, was sublime. They were the better side, two excellent sides. And I think you've still got that expectation that, okay, well, you might get beat because they're a quality side. But when you play and you go back to Molineux, you've got sides, especially against Newcastle, and you play pretty well, you play okay, you get ahead, you need to start winning games. And the likes of Newcastle, those kind of sides are where you're going to be competing this year. Outside of that top 5, maybe top 6, but really in and around those European places, especially with the squad that they've got and they've put together. I think Bruno's got the players in line, and I think now Wolves fans need to see them start scoring some goals and picking up some points. And that's the thing, when Bruno's got his men, he's got the team he wants, he's got the formation he wants, he's got the players to play in the system that he wants, the supporters can't wait too long. And when you haven't picked up a win all season, they will start to get antsy. And I think, against Fulham as well, they were frustrated, so they let that go. But if you'd beaten Newcastle, they didn't do that, then, this becomes a big game now. And, you've got Southampton again on Saturday. They've got to start winning these games. And you can understand it because you've got a bit of a headache from, a lasting headache from the back end of last season as well, where they went on that horrible run. So they haven't won a game for a long time in the Premier League. And you can understand their frustration. But I think, even though Twitter's kind of be a toxic at times, there is a realisation that they've got some quality players, and with Sasha coming as well, it's definitely going to help. But they've got to win a game. They've got to get 3 points. And as well as they played, as well as they played in parts, they haven't created too many clear-cut chances. They lost the last 3 last season, but I thought they played pretty well. They played well in parts, but there's no clear-cut chances. So this is the time tonight when they need to start picking up points.
Nathan, just before I let you go, because I know you've got a lot of work to do, appreciate your time. Normally, covering Wolverhampton Wanderers in transfer windows is a bit quiet, and especially on transfer deadline days, it can be pretty quiet. Are you anticipating that it's going to be far from that in the next 24 hours? And and what do you think they still need to do if they do want to do any more?
Well, look, it's interesting. I think what time do we get off here? We might get back about 2:30 this morning, 3 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then I'm up at 8, and it's a 16-hour shift up until midnight, 8 a.m. to midnight for tomorrow. So it's a delightful day. Can't wait for it. Look, I think you might see some exits, of course. You know, Willy Bolly linked with a move to Nottingham Forest, so I think that's hopefully going to happen. Hopefully that gets done early. You've got obviously some uncertainty against Hwang. As for incomings, yes, I think they need a centre-back. They've got to have a centre-back. If Willy Bolly leaves his football club, they've got to get one centre-back in, an experienced centre-back who knows the league, who's physical. Look, Nathan Collins and Max Kilman could be the Wolves centre-backs for 5-10 years to come. I mean, Nathan Collins is a revelation. He's a Rolls-Royce of a defender for me. But they definitely need a little bit of stability just in case there's an injury there. So I'd like to see a centre-back come in. And, you know, maybe one more. Maybe there's a bit of full-back cover. But I think they need to get that centre-back in. If Willy Bolly leaves the football club, then I think if they get a centre-back in with a bit of experience, who knows the league, who knows top-quality players, then I think that is definitely the best transfer window of the Fosun era. But like I keep on saying, with the fans, speaking to the fans, with that comes expectation, and you've got to start delivering.
Nathan, really appreciate your time. Thank you very much indeed. Nathan Tudor from the Express and Star giving us his thoughts. Tomo, just a very quick reaction to that because we're running out of time. But, I mean, it could be an interesting 24 hours. It has been a very busy summer, busier than perhaps it's been in the last couple of summers. And we have to hope that all those different components are going to start to combine and quickly and gel together, and we're going to get to see the performances we want.
Well, it had to be. We were looking for ages. We were about players coming in just to give us a little bit of confidence and just give us that spark from somewhere. Look, he's brought in Guedes, Nunes. Okay, so he's brought those two in. And look, they look quality players. But like you said there, if Bolly does leave, we probably do need another centre-half with Connor Cody going to Everton as well. So it's all about just making sure you've got enough cover just in case there are injuries. But you're just looking at that Bruno and say, like we said, we can't really be judged on Nuno's team, what he's had. Now he's getting to bring players in. Now judgment starts to happen, especially when he's bringing in his own players. And again, so look, you're just hoping that we can turn these results around.
Claire, final thought. What are you expecting tonight? And who's going to be the standout player for Wolves for you?
I think it'll be a great game. Hopefully, I'm hoping for a win and a clean sheet. Going pretty positive on that one. I just think the boys can step up. I think they know they need this result. I think towards the end, then last 10, 15 minutes when Newcastle were on top, we were starting to panic a little bit. We've just got to start with confidence. We're good enough to go and win it. The squad is building every week. I think it's very tough for Bruno to be judged too much when you're 4 games in and you're still building your squad. This is the thing with the transfer window finishing so late into the season. But I think it's a tough ask for them. But we've got a striker to come in, so I expect Jimenez to be firing tonight. You saw the goals that we saw earlier, like the Adama Traore with Jimenez combination. You'd love to see something like that again. But we're just very positive and play with the ball. I think we'll get lots of possession here today. We've got to be clinical in and around the box, very aggressive in our play and get our shots away and get some goals on.
Score prediction, what are you going for, Claire?
3-0.
Oh, okay. Well, I wasn't expecting that. Tomo?
Confidence. I was going to go 2-0 Wolves.
Okay.
I wonder what you're going for.
Well,
right?
that leaves me 1-0. And believe you me.
To be fair, mate, I'll take it.
We need a win, and hopefully it will come here today. There's more from Tomo, of course, on commentary, wolves.co.uk, and via the Wolves app. More from Claire at half-time and at full-time. Make sure you join us for that in a couple of minutes. We'll leave you with the last time Wolves were here. Hopefully there will be a repeat. Fingers crossed.
Trying to release Jota down the left-hand side. Goalkeeper thought about coming and then didn't. Jota is wiped out just outside the penalty area. This is going to be a yellow card coming.
It's just too quick for him.
João Moutinho, the step up right-footed from the free kick. Calls it on! That's unbelievable! João Moutinho has whipped it into the far top corner. Can you believe this? 60 games without a goal comes to an end. Magic Moutinho, 5'7" of football heaven, delivers on the south coast. Coutinho trying to take the free kick quickly. In behind for Traore. Low one across. Oh, that's brilliant! Turned home by Raul Jimenez. A stunning counter-attacking goal from the set piece. It's unbelievable football. It's Bournemouth 0, Wolves 2. Raul Jimenez just cannot be stopped. 4 in 4. Jota, now he's been pulled back by Francis. We're playing on because here comes Johnny up to the edge of the box. Johnny across towards Traore. Now Jimenez trying to slide it in here for Doherty to strike it. Oh, and all the way across the face of goal. He's calling Francis towards him. He's reaching towards his pocket. It's a yellow card, and Simon Francis is sent off. In comes the corner, flicked in at the near post and in! And Bournemouth have one back! The set piece works! Steve Cook is the man who got there!
See, the law of this jungle is as old and as real as the sky. And the wolf that abides will prosper, but a wolf that breaks it will die. You see, out here in this jungle, we run it forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. I used to run with the pack, nowadays I run for the pack. Represent from the front to the back, balls in my heart, my city on the map. I was in the field, you're sitting on the bench. See me in the gym, rep till I'm bench. Sweat till I win, that's a victory stench. Yeah, we stay ready for the war, man, I settle in the score. Right now I'm with the hype, I ain't in it for the light. I was down on the ground, now I'm up for the fight. Seaside at the dark, now it's into the light. Alpha mode, down for my team. I wake up and I'm chasing a dream. Don't dirt, but my crap stay clean. Step for me, rude boy, how you mean? Look at my jump with the verses. Clean sheeting him and I'm on a verse with. Prize fighter, I'm taking the purses. Deathmatch and your family in hearses. The law of this jungle, we run it forward and back. For the strength of the pack is the wolf, and the strength of the wolf is the pack. See, out here in this jungle, we run it forward and back.